watch hate videos or whatever. You are
Son, just remember, criticism comes. I can punt it.
Well, thank you for
Criticism comes to you.
Maybe we should go over the conversation one more time.
If you want to watch it,
Continue this conversation later.
if you listen, if you want to watch it,
And all the other dumb shit that you said in it. It's not because I'm afraid to get to crying.
no, it is definitely because you're afraid. Why is it you unban Anonymous when he makes a video criticizing you? You say, I'm not watching that.
Because I think it's, you want to know why? Because I think it's fucking
Hello, everyone.
unproductive
Welcome to
watch
literally-
criticism of me, you
watching
fucking
the
coward.
Hasan v.
What do you
Ethan Klein
mean? You're
debate.
fucking presenting yourself and developing an audience that is literally, without even realizing it, because they are only drama obsessed.
Drama
without realizing
obsessed.
it, they're literally positioning themselves to be pro-Israel, to repeat pro-Israel talking points. Yes, that is the only reason why I started
you will
talking
not
about
point
you,
out.
because you went on a fucking deplatforming campaign.
Why did
of
you not
all
watch Bad
pro-Palestinian
Empanadas video
voices
about you?
that
You
dared
watched all of it?
criticize you.
Bro,
You did
why?
110 Instagram stories on me,
You're-
Ethan,
you're
since
you're-
January 31st,
You're changing
2025.
the
It was
24
so
hours,
unhinged
bro.
that you
It's-
didn't even recognize
You
who
need to
have
at least
become.
admit that it's reciprocal. I am not upset. You made 24 hours of nonstop content, bro.
Ethan,
24
you literally
hours in
have
the last 2
posted
months.
just on your own personal
We've
Instagram
talked about each other
stories
equally as much,
since
bro.
January
This whole
31st, 2025, 110 stories. It was so insane, you didn't believe it.
Even if
You
that's
don't even believe your
Hasan,
own mania.
Hassan,
Please,
20
for the love of God,
Hassan,
if
you talked
Look.
about me 24 minutes a day, every day, 7 days a week for 60 days. Does that
yes,
sound
after
fucking
you,
reasonable?
After you presented yourself as a fucking significant force trying to literally deplatform pro-Palestinian
How much time do you
voices.
think it makes an
That's
Instagram
why.
story?
That's why. And that's you literally.
Why
your
didn't you watch a
own-
Bad
listen,
Empanada video
listen,
about yourself?
Your own producers were begging you to stop talking about me, so much so that you had to set up a separate war room where you only talked
What?
about me. And that's what happened, right? Because
not-
you couldn't
it's not
shut
a
up about
separate
it. Your
war room.
fans were fucking going, Ethan, we get it. He
My
sucks.
fans are
Please
fine,
stop
bro.
talking
Don't worry
it."
about my
And
fans.
the entire time you frame this as though it's petty fucking drama.
It's not petty
As though
drama.
it's
You are
petty
deeply
drama,
anti-Semitic,
even though it is
hateful,
a
fucking
real
propagandist
issue
liar.
that took place. And it only took you now to fucking openly say 10 toes down that it is a genocide, but also
I've said
you
that.
don't want anyone
I've
to
said that
fucking resist
consistently
against
for
it.
years.
Dude,
liar.
he's destroyed
Ethan,
Hasan today.
you don't want anyone to resist against genocide. It is a fucking untenable
Man,
Oh,
position.
you mean
It
kidnapping
makes
civilians?
no
You're
sense.
so pathetic, bro. Please.
And you constantly keep smearing me as a fucking anti-Semite. At a
You
time
are
when
one,
the
man.
Trump
You are one,
administration-
Hasan.
At a time when the Trump administration is blackbagging people.
Yeah, that's
How
bad
do you not
happening. Don't call
understand
me
that-
out. That's
How do you
bad
not
happening. Don't call me
understand?
out. That's what you're doing.
Dude, how do you
Why
not
didn't you watch the Bad
understand
Empanada video?
that you are playing a formative role when you don't talk about Mahmoud Khalil?
Just
You're
remember,
playing
everybody
a formative
watching.
role when you don't
Formative
talk
role.
about the mass starvation of Gaza.
By the way, I
is
advocated for
not-
Kamala to get elected. What'd you do? I told people to vote for Kamala. What'd you do?
Oh,
No, seriously. What'd you
oh,
do?
Ethan,
Did you?
Congratulations.
Do you think Kamala and
Congratulations
Trump
for
would have been
advocating for
equally
Kamala.
bad?
I won't change anything from Joe Biden's policies, Harris.
It's not Joe
What did
Biden.
I
It's
do?
Kamala
Well,
Harris.
Not only did I go to the DNC,
It's
but I
not-
actually offered some pretty fucking valuable criticism to the
got kicked
Democratic
out,
Party that
by
they
the way.
didn't listen to.
Oh, if
Unfortunately,
only
you
the
out of
Democratic
the
Party
DNC.
had listened to Hasan, they would have won.
They lost.
Mental.
Why have you lied about me voting for Jill Stein, by the way? Can we talk about
Who did you-
that?
I don't
Why
know.
the
Who'd
fuck
you-
do you keep saying I voted for Jill Stein?
Who did
I
you
have
vote for?
Countless hours shitting on Jill Stein.
I
I've
said I
told
think
people
you did.
not to vote for Trump.
I
I've
said-
said that Donald Trump is significantly worse than Kamala Harris. And I've also, on top of that, called Jill Stein
Yeah,
a
you
grifter
didn't endorse
over
her.
and over and over again. But for some weird reason, despite the fact that I voted live, mind you,
And you didn't
kept
say
lying
who
to your
for.
audience, and you kept lying to your audience.
I said
and
I
you
think.
kept making it seem as though I didn't even fucking vote, or I urged people not to vote.
Is
There's
he
never
Who'd
been
you
a
vote
moment where I
for?
said do
Who
not
did you
vote.
vote for?
I voted for Kamala Harris. You got a problem?
No, I got no problem, but I think there's people in your
Oh,
audience
you
that
don't
would.
have a problem. You don't have a problem.
Why
with
didn't you
that.
endorse
Why
her
the
then?
fuck do you keep saying I voted for Jill Stein?
I said
huh?
I think because you didn't say who
Oh,
you
you
voted
think?
for.
Oh,
Yeah,
you
that's what I said.
think?
It's an
Oh, you
opinion.
think? Oh, you don't give a fuck, dude. It doesn't matter who I vote for anyway. You're out of your fucking mind. I did not endorse Kamala Harris, and I will never endorse Kamala Harris. And I did not endorse Joe Biden.
And now Trump's president.
You want to know why? Because you want to know why?
Trump's building the Riviera in Gaza Strip, and guess what? You fucking love that shit because you get to keep making content about it, and you get to keep making videos, and you guarantee there will never be peace there because you won't acknowledge the trauma of both sides. Two things must always be true,
How much
Hasan.
content have you made about Donald Trump? How much content have you made about fucking Donald Trump? You literally defended his terrorist regime. What the fuck are you talking about? And then you have to apologize because you're an embarrassing figure.
You can't fathom.
Listen to me. Listen to me.
You can't fathom that somebody says something wrong and come back and corrects it.
And all of the producers or all the people that are giving you fucking talking points is not going to make you come across as smart in this process. Please, for your own mental sanity.
Dude, Hasan's having a mental breakdown.
You are basically brain-breaking a shit ton of people into idiotic positions. You clearly don't care about people who have actually voted for Donald Trump, considering your allegiance with people who have literally directly voted for Donald Trump.
Who's my allegiance?
Okay?
Who's my allegiance to?
What do you mean? You have fucking Trump supporters that you're friends with. Like Steiny in general. When I have a conversation with him, I'm actually directly fucking addressing some of the shit.
Did you watch my interview with him, you
like
fucking dipshit? That our entire conversation was me arguing with him and telling him why Trump's bad and why transphobia is bad. You are insanely incompetent.
You're playing poker with people who fucking voted for Donald Trump. You're defending Asmongold.
Steiny's podcast, you hypocrite.
Is not actually Trump coded.
I spent hours shitting on Steiny. You're just a liar.
Asmongold has been a valuable figure shitting on me this entire time. And that's the only reason why you act like he's not that significant of a force. That's it.
When did I say that?
You will take help from anyone and everyone.
And it was all written by Destiny, right?
You claim to care. You claim to care about rape, and you're hyping up a dude who has a segment on a show called Ultimate Rape Review. The reason why you're hyping up that
dude, literally Hasan's meltdown.
You don't give a fuck. All you care about is petty drama. This is your only content.
Petty drama. Hasan is literally just a drama too.
Shut the fuck up about politics and get back to goofs and gaffs, and it will be fine. People will forget that you have behaved in this way, but you don't want to do that. It's become a fucking personal agenda for you that people don't like you. It must be anti-Semitism. No, they don't like you because you don't know what the fuck you're talking about, and you have to be babied by goddamn producers as a 40-year-old adult. That's the reason why people don't like it.
Very good. Very good. Now, why don't you watch Van Empanada's videos about you?
Because he's pro-Palestine, and I don't give a fuck about.
He was criticizing you.
Palestine,
oh, you're
and
such
I don't
a
care
coward,
about the difference in methods that we
well,
have.
he's now
right,
supportive about
I'm out of my
There's no
depth.
reason
I shouldn't
to
talk
divide
about
the movement. And if you were pro-Palestine, I would never talk about you either. That's the real reason.
Uh-oh.
That's
Can you please contend with the Avi Schleim quote that they left not because of Zionism, but because of they were afraid?
Dude, come on. Enough. You have Avi Schleim on the show. Talk to him about it, okay?
Okay, sure.
Maybe it'll go down exactly like you thought with Sam Cedar.
How did it go with Sam Cedar? I think if anything, Sam kind of embarrassed himself.
Sam Cedar.
I genuinely do. I hate to say it because I like Sam.
A 40-year-old man who needs a fucking button when he has like a little oopsie moment.
Did I button?
Is actually the one who's talking about Sam Cedar embarrassing himself.
Did I button during that debate?
He lowered himself to talk to you man to man and try to explain to you what was going on.
That's what you asked for. Why would you want to lower his
like
status?
Why
did you lower his status?
Because I thought you could be convinced. I didn't realize you were this fucking drama obsessed.
Drama obsessed. We had an argument about fucking South Africa apartheid. What's drama about that?
What?
You're fucking dude. Listen,
I can't hear what you said. What did you say?
It doesn't matter. Just remember, when it comes to criticism, I watch it.
Yes.
You ignore
Nelson
it.
Mandela,
It's so important.
Nelson Mandela was actually peaceful because you're gonna clip chimp the fucking shit that Loner Box told you.
Why was
then you're gonna say the violent things that
Hasan,
the ANC did were in the Truth and Reconciliation Committee attributed to
Hasan, how many civilians died in 20 years in the ANC during the ANC's?
It was like 200, I think.
Less than 100. How many people did Hamas kill on one day?
That's a good point.
Nelson Mandela, which I'll read you a quote from his trial. I'll read you a quote.
Are you comparing the apartheid structure in South Africa to 76 years of colonial occupation?
Don't you do that all the time?
Yeah, you do that all the time.
No, the
you call it apartheid all the time.
And the militancy has gotten far more radical as a direct consequence of Israel becoming far more radical.
Oh,
because,
that's bullshit.
as I told you, and you seemingly understood when we first had this conversation after October 7, that
Yeah, I went on
maintenance
this
of an
history yesterday. It was
apartheid
good
is an
fun.
inherently violent endeavor, and as a matter of fact, the resistance to said apartheid is only going to get worse and worse as time moves on. This is precisely the reason.
Hassan likes that. He thinks it's good that people are going to die. More people are going to die.
And throwing rocks, and the second intifada in the aftermath of horrific acts of terror
Let me read
against Palestinians who were at a mosque praying.
I actually have facts. I have a historical quote. I'm not just grandstanding. Mandela, from his trial in 1960, said, and I quote, "There were 4 forms of violence that were possible. One was sabotage, one was guerrilla warfare, one was terrorism, and then there was open revolution. We chose to adopt the first method as it exhausted it before taking any other decision. In light of our political background, the choice was a logical one. Sabotage did not involve loss of life, and it offered the best hope for future race relations. Bitterness would be kept minimum, and if a policy bore fruit, democratic government could become a reality.
Yet, Malaki.
This is what we felt at the time, and this is what we said in our manifesto.
I think Ethan messed up defending his wife. That's insane.
To achieve liberation without bloodshed and civil clash. We hope, even at this late hour, that our first action will awaken everyone to the realization that the disastrous situation which the national...
Yeah, you're so right. Hamas is not a resistance movement. It's like the Gaza equivalent to the
KKK. And its supporters to their senses before it's too late, so that both the government and its policies can be changed before matters reach the desperate state of war."
Notice how the end part of that is getting ready for rebellion.
Did they?
I feel like yeah, because the apartheid structure dissolved as a direct consequence of pressure campaigns and also militancy, which Nelson Mandela not once but twice
what's Hamas doing for liberation?
Of having his sentence commuted, which he refused to do. They said,
on principle,
Nelson Mandela,
bro.
if you disavow
on
violence,
principle. He said, "I will not remain in jail because a prisoner can't negotiate. A prisoner can't decide."
Yes, that was the first time.
No,
and in both
times he refused on
both
principle.
Circumstances,
Less than 100 people died during the 20-year period. Anyone that attacked civilians, they were disavowed. The ANC repeatedly apologized and disavowed violence against civilians.
When did they do that?
Less than 100 civilians died.
When did they do that?
Hamas killed 1,000 civilians on one fucking day.
1,000 civilians?
Yeah.
The poor civilian Israeli soldiers that died.
No.
In their
oh my God, dude.
Like,
he's actually sick. He's a full-on sicko.
300.
What do you mean I'm so dumb?
Okay, how many civilians died? How many civilians died?
I believe the total number of casualties in October 7 was 1,200, with 800 being civilians, which is completely unacceptable,
mind you,
and
400 being
military members.
I was off by 100. Oh my God, dude! I can't believe the historical inaccuracies.
Well, you just made a big. You're the one who's bringing up numbers here, Ethan. And yes, I do think it's
virtually
important to recognize something here that you are seemingly failing to recognize. Nelson Mandela was thrown in prison because he went and trained with the FLN in Algeria. The reason why he stayed in fucking prison was because he refused to disavow violence, because he understood that as long as
sabotage is violence.
Revolution
I didn't say he's a pacifist. I never said he's a
pacifist. Violent revolution is inevitable.
Yeah, and I never said he's a pacifist.
They did do.
You know what's funny?
In terms of the death and destruction on the apartheid structure, by the way,
Nelson
it is
Mandela
incomprehensible to compare that to Israel's violence against the Palestinians.
Haven't voted yet.
What Israel has done to the Palestinians is far worse. And by the way, that's not my assessment. What Israel has done to the Palestinians for the past 76 years is infinitely worse.
Well, worse than apartheid in South Africa. That's ridiculous.
That is the assessment of Mandela, and for all the for all of the moments that he was able to fucking see.
You think Mandela said what's happening is worse than what we went through? That's bullshit. Why would he say that? Hasan, you're a liar.
Why would he say that? Because it's true, Ethan.
He just lied, dude. He just full on lied.
Is Nelson Mandela a Zionist?
Yes, Nelson Mandela. Are you going to say in 1999 he said Israel has a legal right to exist?
More than that.
Same
he said more than that.
He said more than that. He said Israel should
Remember
exist.
that you called this guy a neo-Nazi, not fit to be a dog catcher. That's what you said about Nelson Mandela.
What are you talking about? Whoa, you're jumping off like a million different points.
The right of Israel to exist as a state legally. We have stood quite openly and firmly for the right of that state to exist within secured borders.
You disagree with that statement?
Does Israel has a right to exist, not in the way that it currently does?
Within secure borders.
Ethan, hold on.
Hasan is to the left of Nelson Mandela.
Yeah, that he also thinks that Palestinians also need to be acknowledged, which, by the way, is my fucking point.
No, not that.
Palestinian
Not
liberation
that.
and Israeli borders are two sides of the same coin.
Ethan, he didn't just say Palestinians also need to be acknowledged.
What did he say?
He says that if peaceful means of coexistence is impossible, then violence is inevitable, Ethan. Why did you clip that out of the fucking clip chimp
because
that
it's
you
irrelevant.
posted, Ethan?
Dude, you saying I clip chimp Nelson Mandela?
Yes, you literally did. You cut him out of context.
No, I did. He's a Zionist. What do you mean?
Well, if Nelson Mandela says that Israel should exist, then he's a Zionist.
He's talking philosophically.
You think it's irrelevant? We're having a conversation about Nelson Mandela and whether or not he actually believes in
I'm going to vote in a couple hours.
Whether or not he actually believes in violence. You have said time and time again that he was a peaceful dove. He's never actually done any violence whatsoever. There are numerous instances on
Inevitability, a philosophical warning is not an endorsement. He was speaking as a warning to them, which was apt.
Brother, that is insane.
What?
Nelson Mandela was literally on a terror watch list since 2008.
Who gives a fuck?
What do you mean who gives a fuck? You like to use the terrorism watch list when you're talking about the Houthis, or you like to use the terrorist watch list when you talk about Hezbollah.
I mean, I gave you
Hamas.
specific examples of why those organizations are bad.
Who do you think that was Who do you think the philosophical point that he was making, the guy who was in prison for violent resistance, by the way, who trained
violent resistance? You mean sabotage?
Ready for rebellion, by the way.
Sabotage and giving government infrastructure.
Do you think that was a warning to Palestinians, or do you think that was a warning to
the fact
Israel?
That you are
because
so
that
willing.
Same Nelson Mandela has time and time again also repeated that no one is free until Palestine is free. That same Nelson Mandela that you're trying to fucking use in this situation has said that this is a united struggle, that Israel's actions against the Palestinians are abhorrent, that it is akin to what they have experienced in apartheid South Africa, if not worse. So the idea that you can make this comparison because you think it's to be free, my friend, argument is so stupid.
Well, no,
and the only way you can do that is by cutting it out of context.
No, I just explained why. Dude, I want Palestine to be free, but you know what? I don't think Hamas is furthering that goal. I think Hamas is counterproductive. They're making
it sounds like KKK movement.
It to be inevitable.
You refuse. Why are they making it worse?
You refuse to criticize them, which is pathetic. Unlike
me,
I'm willing to criticize the Israeli
Has
government.
Hasan ever criticized Hamas?
With the cruel reality. Hamas.
Walk through it. Why are they making it worse?
Why they make it worse? Because they killed 1,000 people, then created a war that killed.
What was the fucking objective there on October 7th, genius?
Kidnapping, which by the way I don't even agree with, which is an international human rights violation. But kidnapping Israeli soldiers, Israeli civilians to make to
and what part about that was slaughtering fucking families in their homes?
Ethan,
they just wanted concessions.
Tactics. You know this already. We're not relitigating this over and over again.
I'm just saying, Hamas is a bunch of fucking
17 months of fucking genocide. Okay. What do you think? What do you think?
One day you're gonna watch a video response I make. One day.
Probably not. When you apologize for all the fucking harm that you've done.
Apologize. All right.
Yeah.
Listen.
I have the rest of the clip that you clipped, Chip, by the way, if you want to hear his actual fucking full-fleshed opinions.
I'm not hiding from it. I literally acknowledge what he said. I don't care.
But so why did you say that he was actually a peaceful resistance type of guy?
When did I say that? When the fuck did I say that, you liar?
You've said it on numerous occasions, as opposed to you said that on numerous occasions before someone told you, no, actually, here's a better way to massage that narrative.
I said he uses violent means such as sabotage. He didn't kill civilians.
Ethan,
that's what I said.
Will you stop talking if I show you numerous instances where you?
I can't believe Hasan said how has Hamas negatively impacted the cause of Palestinian resistance. Like, look at the past 2 years, fucking retard.
You're gonna do great. You're gonna do great. Yeah, go ahead.
Ethan, you literally said he was a pacifist.
I never said Nelson Mandela was a pacifist.
Ethan,
that is an insane lie.
You said it to Sam Cedar 2 days ago.
So you got to watch that back, because you're once again a liar. You have no problem lying. You have no problem saying that I work with the ADL without any evidence. You fucking have no problem discrediting the suffering of Jewish refugees.
Nelson Mandela is a pacifist.
Okay, well, prove it.
And the full quote, by the way, of Nelson Mandela is from when he visited Gaza in 1999 that I was referring to. Choose peace rather than confrontation, except in cases where we cannot move forward. Then, if the only alternative is violence, we will use violence. Yeah. Does that sound like a pacifist to you?
I meant that he didn't kill civilians. His approach is vastly different than what Hamas is doing.
Do you think Nelson Mandela would like what the Houthis are doing?
I don't know. Let's fucking dig him out of his grave and ask him.
That's kind of weird because I mean, you said he was doing peaceful means.
Do
of
I think
resistance,
Nelson
like
Mandela would be in
sabotage.
favor of kidnapping 10 civilians? No, of course not.
Yes, he would. 100%.
All right.
He
Well,
would.
while you're busy putting words in a dead man's mouth,
100% he would. What are you talking about? Nelson Mandela bombed the fucking church and shit. What are you talking about?
Holy
Nelson
shit.
Mandela, not Nelson
he
Mandela directly, he was in
didn't
prison, but
fuck with civilians, bro. That was his thing. He wanted to be as peaceful as possible because he knew that if he killed and targeted civilians, it would make reunification impossible.
You're right.
That's
Israel's doing a genocide because Palestinians are not resisting
Less than
in the
100
appropriate ways.
civilians died in 20-year period. I mean, what do you want more than that?
He literally said Nelson Mandela would have supported
Let's
October
kill
7,
1,000
kidnapping
or
Israeli
900. So
children.
sorry.
800. But
I
also,
am 800. You're right. You know what?
Well,
That's better.
It's seemingly important.
That's
You're the one who's
better.
bringing up numbers. Now, what you again fail to recognize is
Bad Empana's threatening
length.
Zenderhall? How do I
And
help
not only
Zenderhall?
that, but also the resistance against apartheid South Africa includes
Ethan, ask if Nelson Mandela would have been in favor of.
Here, okay?
Huh?
My point is that the apartheid in South Africa and the resistance against it was a far shorter period with far less casualties on the South African side as opposed to Israel's complete ethnic cleansing campaign that is that has started now, but even before its ethnic cleansing campaign.
Then don't complain.
Ethan should ask if Nelson Mandela would be in favor of mowing down a whole music festival filled with civilians.
Ethan, because Israel has killed
Why was
every
Destiny
Nelson
low-key rude when
Mandela.
you streamed?
Israel has.
No, dude, he
Israel
was
would have
just
probably
tired.
killed Nelson Mandela if they had the opportunity to do so.
I'm sure, and they would have done everything bad that's ever happened in the world.
Redux,
Wait,
just message
you
me
know
on
why I
Discord.
said that?
Add me as a friend. I'm just Drew Pavlu. The same username.
No, don't look at your laptop. Do you
I'm
know why I
not.
said that?
Let me guess. You, I don't. Oh, tell me.
No, go ahead. Just throw up a guess.
All right, listen. It's 5 o'clock. I'm not doing this. Okay. You
Oh, you
can
don't
tell
wanna
me
do
or
this.
you cannot.
Okay.
You want to? I'll stand here if you want to tell me, but I'm not going to sit here and
Okay.
play rhetorical games.
Israel was aligned with South Africa, the apartheid government.
Yeah,
as
I
a
know. They
matter
made
of
nuclear
fact.
bombs with them. It's horrible.
Yeah.
What's that have to do with
horrible.
anything? Fuckhead.
Yeah.
When did I defend that?
Well, they're both apartheids, so.
Yeah. And when did I deny that? All right, listen, it's 5 o'clock. Like I said, I have a family to go to. I have 3 kids and a wife, and I know that you have a fucking cool ass race car bed. And I hope you enjoy that.
Okay, man. Thank you. Have a good one. I hope this was productive. Dan, he needs you more than you need him. Stop babying this man, please. He needs you more than you need him. Stop babying him.
Well, I know that's true, but I don't baby him.
Come on. Okay. All right.
You want to target the crew more? You want to drum up her
It's fine. It's fine.
I have a tremendous amount of respect for the crew.
Hey,
they
Bad
are what makes
Empanada
the
called
show
AB
great.
a house slave.
What?
Bad Empanada called AB a house slave.
Yeah, he's wrong. What the fuck do you want?
Okay, well, you watch his videos a lot.
Why are you bringing up Bad Empanada? Do you think I agree with everything he says? No, of course not.
You endorse him.
Yeah, you do endorse him.
Ethan,
all right,
I've
we gotta go.
endorsed his
You promote
YouTube
him all the
video
time. That's a
essays
fact.
That I agree with, that I think are very well thought out.
All right,
I don't
listen,
endorse
stop being a
his
coward and
techniques or
watch
methods
some
or
fair.
opinions.
Hasan thinks Bad Empana is really well
Please,
thought
stop
out.
being a coward and just watch some criticism. It will prove
Yeah.
that you are not
This was
afraid.
pretty good. This was pretty productive. You know, having this conversation, having this back and forth. Don't you think?
I actually do. I think you exposed yourself deeply a few times here, and I think we'll have to wait and see, obviously, how this pans out.
Yeah.
But I do think it was productive to show just kind of the blatant, overt, anti-Semitism.
Maybe I will watch the Context Puke.
Yes, please, and then we can talk about it.
Maybe I will watch
the
Context Puke live, as a matter of fact,
please
not in a cowardly way. I like that this is what it's come to, where having a face-to-face conversation is less. Is somehow less fucking is more cowardly than like actually watching a YouTube video that you made.
It is.
No, dude. What's cowardly is you fucking constantly crying and refusing to actually look for context and putting together shit that you saw on fucking subreddits to be like, this is my argument. I'm destroying him.
Watch it and
we blame Chen for Hasan. Absolutely, actual disaster for humanity.
Maybe I'll actually do that to fundraise for the charities that you are actively targeting by trying to undermine and celebrate with Creator Clash 3, which is, I
don't know if you know this, but last year they lost $250,000. To be charitable, you actually have to give money to charity.
I know. You fucking hate everybody that has even lightly fucking criticized you or stayed out of.
Are you surprised that I didn't like Ian's video?
What? No, dude.
Dude, if you want to own me, listen, Hasan. If you want to own me by donating to charity, I think that's fantastic.
You're gloating that a fucking charity event is actually like you're trying to undermine a charity event deliberately.
You have to give money to be charity. It's like a slush fund for them.
God, that's so gross, man.
I mean, what happened last year? How much money did they make? Did they do charity last year?
I don't know.
They lost $250,000.
Will you debate me again, Ethan? If you keep chirping in the future?
Yeah, of course.
Perfect.
But if you, I think it would be good if you watch the content, puke, context,
maybe I will.
puke,
maybe
and then we can discuss it.
Maybe I'll do that to fundraise for Creator Clash.
Yes, I think it's awesome. If you want to own me by donating to charity, I think that's sick as fuck.
Yeah, maybe you should do that too. You know, donate some pro-Palestinian charities. I'll feel so fucking owned.
Let's own each other and donate to charity.
All right.
I know you guys fucking. I know you guys hate each
Hello,
other, but
Gunso.
the views were crazy.
It was. How many? I never
just
looked.
Saying, think about it.
What was the views at? I never looked.
They're pretty good on both ends. Like 100K.
Whose was higher?
Don't ask that question.
Hasan's was higher.
Hasan's was higher.
Yeah.
Not by much, but it was higher.
Greetings from China. Wow, we've got a viewer from China. Thanks.
120,000. I don't know what you guys had over there. I wasn't looking, but
We got up to about 100K. So
Well, we're gonna have to do some. These people are clearly have some kind of brain disease, and we need to do something about it.
No, for sure. Ethan, please keep up the energy as though you feel that there is a genocide going on, because your output is what matters here. And that is what I was trying to get across to you and get across to your audience. If you think that
I acknowledge that I acknowledge that I could talk about it more, and I should make more of an effort to talk about it.
Okay, thank you. Instead of going after,
and you should try not to be a fucking raging anti-Semite for a day.
What?
What is your opinion on the killing of the professor? It's very sad.
Then we can shake hands.
Ethan, I don't think you actually believe that I'm anti-Semitic. I think
I genuinely believe Hasan is a massive anti-Semite.
What?
You should watch back the first part of this interview. That is.
I don't think that makes you look good.
Okay. Well, I guess we'll wait and see. Unfortunately, I think your people are going to think it makes you look good, and then everybody else is going to think that might look good. Like, who gives a fuck? At the end of the day,
I'm sure.
It's not a swastika. It's just the swastika sword. It's not a swastika. It's just the sword that I called the swastika sword. Got it. All right. Have a good night, Hasan.
All right.
I gotta go. All right,
you too, buddy.
You take care, bud.
All right.
Old friends together at last.
Bye, Hasan.
Give Kaya our love. Give Kaya our love.
Yeah, we all still love Kaya.
Oh my God, what a fucking train wreck. I was hoping that I shouldn't have hoped that he would have been more open to listening, but I guess that's what it was meant to be.
It is what it is.
I'm so tired.
How long was that going on for?
5 hours.
4 hours and 15
we're going
minutes.
on 5 hours here.
Was I owned?
I need to process everything that just happened. My head's spinning.
Another fucking fever dream.
I was starting to lose, like, at the end tail of that. It's like, dude, I can't.
I could tell you were fading a little bit.
I think I got him. Honestly, I think I got him pretty good. The way that he was like denying obvious, blatant shit and being like, no, that's not. No, you're insane. You're hallucinating it. It's like, bro, that's crazy talk. I also liked how he like, whatever. People will analyze this.
Yeah, I'd say both sides got the clips they wanted. That's the end.
That's kind of the thing, right? It's like anything. Both sides declare victory, and nothing really changes. So, what can you do?
Just keep doing it because the views are great, right, Hasan? Hasan's got to eat.
I'm just saying.
He's got to pay. He's got to pay for that chicken and someone to make it for him too. All right, everybody. Well, thanks for watching. Thank you to the awesome, loyal, genius, caring 100,000 that watched on our stream, not Hasan's. So important. And I appreciate. I don't know if that was what y'all wanted, but it is what it is.
People are saying I won.
Dan won. Would you stop babying me, Dan? All right.
Alrighty.
It's Friday.
It is Friday.
Have a good night.
Thank
Have a
goodness for
blessed
that.
evening.
TGIF.
TT, ta for now, and we'll see you guys on Monday.
Bye bye.
Have a good weekend. And baby, it's Friday for Gabe.
I honestly think that Ethan destroyed him. I honestly think Ethan destroyed him.
For the second time that it did the first time, right? How could it be worse?
I would love for that to be the case. Sure.
Hasan is calling in, of course, at 12:30. I have 10 minutes to schlep around here.
Damn. Honestly, I think he absolutely destroyed him. I think he honestly destroyed him. I'm going to call that maybe an end, guys. Just a short one. I caught the end of the thing. I'll make a full video about it. And I'll be streaming in about 6-7 hours time. No, actually, I think I'll be streaming in about 10 hours time when it comes to the Australian election. That'll be on soon. And I'll be covering the Australian election live. And I'll try and make a full video about the Ethan versus Hasan thing. Yeah. No, thank you guys for watching on my stream and signing out. God bless.